Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're going to be looking at something a bit different.
Ooh,
Yeah, not a book or a research paper this time,
okay.
but a company's financial report.
Interesting.
Specifically, the 2024 full year results press release from Rolls-Royce Holdings Pletpick.
Rolls-Royce,
Yeah.
like the cars.
No, not the cars. The
Yeah.
other Rolls-Royce, the one that makes the jet engines.
Ah, okay.
Nuclear power systems,
Right.
all sorts of things that power critical infrastructure all around the world.
Gotcha.
This document is, packed with numbers,
You bet.
but it also reveals some really interesting insights
Like what?
into how the company is performing and where they're headed.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
For example, did you know that Rolls-Royce is bringing back dividends for the first time since 2019?
Wow.
And they're launching a share buyback program.
Really?
Plus, they're hitting financial targets years ahead of schedule.
That's impressive.
So buckle up because we're about to take a deep dive into what's making Rolls-Royce tick.
Okay, let's do it.
And what it all means for the future.
What's fascinating here is that Rolls-Royce has managed to stage this remarkable comeback, exceeding even their own expectations
Yeah.
and reaching those ambitious financial goals much faster than anyone anticipated.
Yeah, let's start with the big picture.
Okay.
How did they actually perform in 2024?
Well, the numbers tell a story of significant improvement.
Right.
They reported an underlying operating profit of 2.5 billion pounds,
Okay.
a jump of 1.8 billion compared to the previous year.
Wow.
That translates to an operating margin of 13.8%,
Mm-hmm.
a substantial increase of 8.7 percentage points.
Okay.
And perhaps most impressively, their free cash flow reached 2.4 billion pounds,
Okay.
up a massive 1.9 billion from 2023.
So they're clearly doing well.
There.
What's driving these impressive results?
Well, it's a combination of factors.
Okay.
But a key driver is the success of their transformation program.
Uh-huh.
They've been streamlining operations and cutting costs.
Okay.
Faster than anticipated.
They were initially targeting savings of 0.4 or 0.5 billion by 2027,
Okay.
but they've already surpassed that in 2025.
That's impressive.
It is.
Especially considering that so many companies are struggling with rising costs
Absolutely.
due to inflation.
Exactly.
Huh.
In fact, Rolls-Royce also achieved over 1 billion pounds in third-party cost savings.
Oh.
Again, 2 years ahead of schedule.
Okay.
Part of this success can be attributed to their implementation of zero-based budgeting.
Zero-based budgeting.
Yeah.
Now, for our listeners who might not be familiar with this,
Right.
can you break that down for us?
Sure. It's a pretty rigorous approach to budgeting,
Okay.
where every department starts from zero,
Huh.
meaning they have to justify every single expense
Okay.
rather than just rolling over previous budgets.
So it forces them to really scrutinize every cost
Right.
and eliminate anything that's not absolutely essential.
Exactly.
It makes you wonder why every company isn't doing this.
Well, it's a tough process to implement.
Right.
But in Rolls-Royce's case, it seems to be paying off.
Yeah.
This approach, along with a proactive approach to supply chain management,
Okay.
has enabled them to cut costs while many other companies are grappling with inflation.
Yeah. It's a real testament to their adaptability
It is.
and their strategic foresight.
Absolutely.
And these cost savings, combined with some strategic moves like contract renegotiations,
Yes.
particularly in their civil aerospace division,
Ah.
are likely contributing to the company's decision to reinstate dividends.
You're right. They're reinstating dividends at 6 pence per share,
Okay.
which translates to a 30% payout ratio.
Uh-huh.
On top of that, they've announced a share buyback program worth 1 billion pounds,
Wow.
set to launch in 2025.
Okay.
These are powerful signals to investors,
Yeah.
indicating confidence in their ability to generate sustainable growth and profits.
This begs the question,
Yeah.
what's making them so confident?
Mm.
Let's delve into the individual business segments that are powering this success story.
Okay.
Starting with civil aerospace,
Right.
which I imagine is a major contributor to their overall performance.
Civil aerospace is indeed a key driver.
Okay.
One of the most telling indicators is the increase in large engine flying hours.
Okay.
These are up 17% year on year,
Wow.
reaching 103% of 2019 levels.
So not only have they recovered from the pandemic slump
Right.
in the aviation industry,
Hmm.
they've actually surpassed pre-pandemic levels.
Yes,
That's a strong sign of a healthy rebound in air travel globally.
it is.
What about demand for new engines?
Well,
Are airlines investing in Rolls-Royce?
the order book certainly suggests so.
Okay.
They've seen a 13% growth in orders,
Uh-huh.
reaching a total of 1,843 large engines.
Wow, okay.
Some of these key orders come from major airlines like Indigo,
Okay.
Cathay, Pacific Korean Air, and Delta.
So big names.
Big names signaling strong confidence in Rolls-Royce.
From some of the biggest players in the aviation industry.
Absolutely.
Now, you mentioned contract renegotiations earlier. And the press release highlights significant improvements in contractual margins, specifically mentioning a $617 million improvement.
Right.
Can you tell us more about what these renegotiations entail?
Sure.
And how they're achieving these margin improvements?
Contract renegotiations in the aviation industry are incredibly complex
Right.
and often lengthy processes.
Yeah.
Rolls-Royce is focused on renegotiating contracts, particularly for their Trent engine family, which has been in service for several years.
Right.
These renegotiations likely involve deep dives into market conditions,
Okay.
engine performance data, and projected maintenance requirements.
So they're really looking at everything.
Everything. By leveraging their market position and technological expertise,
Right.
Rolls-Royce is strategically securing more favorable terms with airlines for the long haul.
So they're using their strengths to gain a competitive edge
Absolutely.
and ensure sustainable profitability.
Yes.
It's a smart play, especially in a market as competitive as aviation.
For sure.
But Rolls-Royce isn't just about planes.
Right.
Let's move on to their defense division.
Okay.
What kind of performance are we seeing there?
Defense is another strong performer for Rolls-Royce.
Okay.
They've had a robust order intake,
Mm-hmm.
including a notable win with the UK Ministry of Defense for an 8-year submarine contract.
Wait, submarines.
Yeah.
That's not something you typically associate with Rolls-Royce.
Right. It highlights just how multifaceted this company is.
Yeah.
They design and manufacture nuclear propulsion systems for submarines,
Really?
which is a highly specialized
Okay.
and frankly lucrative market.
Wow. And how significant is this submarine contract?
It's a substantial deal worth approximately £9 billion.
Okay.
That alone provides a major boost to their defense division's revenue stream.
So they're not just dipping their toes into the submarine business.
Nope.
They're diving in head first.
Head first.
What other wins have they secured in the defense sector?
They've also won contracts to replace the U.S. Air Force's E-4B Night Watch aircraft.
Okay.
You know, the ones often referred to as doomsday planes.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And they're providing support for the U.S. Navy's TACAMO program,
Okay.
which provides airborne communication relay for the Navy's nuclear forces.
So it sounds like they're securing some high-profile and mission-critical contracts, both in the UK and the US.
Yes.
This suggests that they're seen as a trusted and reliable partner in the defense industry.
It does.
What does this tell us about their overall standing in the global defense landscape?
Well, these wins definitely solidify Rolls-Royce's position as a leading provider of advanced technology and engineering solutions for defense applications.
Right.
Their expertise in nuclear propulsion and their ability to deliver on complex, high-stakes projects gives them a real edge in this demanding market.
So we're seeing a company that's not afraid to venture beyond its traditional areas of expertise.
Right.
And is succeeding in doing so.
They are.
It makes you wonder what else they might have up their sleeve. Now, we've covered civil aerospace and defense.
Yes.
But there's another key area that deserves our attention.
Okay.
Power systems.
Power systems.
This one might surprise some of our listeners.
In what way?
This division showcases how Rolls-Royce is adapting to meet the demands of a changing world.
Okay.
One area where they're making significant inroads is the data center market.
Data centers.
Data centers.
As in the massive server farms that power the internet.
Exactly.
What does Rolls-Royce have to do with those?
It's all about power generation.
Okay.
These massive data centers require a constant and reliable source of power.
Yeah, I can see that.
And Rolls-Royce has stepped in to provide solutions tailored to their unique needs.
Interesting. So how have they adapted to this specific market?
Well, they've actually restructured their power generation business model to focus on data centers.
Wow.
It's a strategic move that seems to be paying off, as they've seen a 42% year-on-year increase in data center orders.
Really?
And they're not just chasing revenue.
Okay.
They're aiming to achieve double-digit operating margins in this segment.
Double-digit margins are impressive.
They are.
Especially in such a competitive space.
Yeah, it shows that they're not just throwing resources at this new market.
Right.
They're taking a calculated approach to ensure profitability.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They're leveraging their existing engineering expertise.
Okay.
and reputation for reliability
Uh-huh.
to position themselves as a leader in this burgeoning market.
And this ties into a broader trend.
What's that?
The world's increasing reliance on data centers.
Yeah.
As more of our lives move online,
Right.
the demand for data storage and processing is only going to grow.
For sure.
It seems like Rolls-Royce is strategically positioning itself to benefit from this trend.
They're not just meeting current demand.
Yeah.
They're anticipating future needs and developing solutions to address them.
That's smart.
It's a forward-thinking approach that sets them apart.
Okay, so we've covered civil aerospace, defense,
yes.
and now power systems. But we haven't even touched on new markets.
New markets.
Which is where we find some of the most interesting and potentially groundbreaking developments.
Okay, I'm listening.
This is where things get really exciting.
Oh.
Remember those SMRs, or small modular reactors, we mentioned earlier?
Yeah, vaguely.
They're moving beyond the realm of science fiction.
Okay.
And becoming a reality.
Wow.
Okay, fill us in. What's the latest on SMRs?
Well, Rolls-Royce SMR has been shortlisted as a potential provider in both the UK and Sweden.
Okay.
They're also making significant strides in the UK's regulatory process.
Uh-huh.
And they've even secured a massive strategic investment from EZ Group, a Czech utility company.
Hold on, a Czech company investing in a British nuclear technology?
Yeah.
That sounds significant.
It is. This investment isn't just about money.
Okay.
It includes an agreement to deploy up to 3 GW of SMR electricity in the Czech Republic.
Wow.
This is a major step towards commercialization.
Okay.
And a real vote of confidence in Rolls-Royce's SMR technology.
3 GW is enough to power a substantial portion of the Czech Republic.
It is.
It seems like SMRs are no longer just a concept.
Right.
But a viable solution for clean energy.
This investment is a signal that the world is starting to recognize the potential of SMRs.
Yeah.
To deliver clean, reliable, and scalable energy.
It marks a major milestone for Rolls-Royce.
It does.
And for the nuclear industry as a whole.
For sure.
This is incredibly exciting.
It is.
But I imagine there are still hurdles to overcome.
Oh, of course.
What kind of challenges and opportunities lie ahead for Rolls-Royce in this emerging market?
Well, one of the biggest challenges is navigating public perception.
Yeah.
And regulatory hurdles.
Right.
Nuclear energy, even in a smaller and more modular form, still carries a certain stigma.
I understand that.
Rolls-Royce will need to demonstrate the safety and reliability of their SMR technology to gain public trust and navigate the complex regulatory landscapes of different countries.
It's a valid point. Safety and environmental concerns are always top of mind when it comes to nuclear technology.
Absolutely. But the opportunities are equally immense.
Okay.
If they can successfully overcome these challenges, SMRs have the potential to revolutionize the energy sector.
Okay.
And play a key role in combating climate change.
With their expertise in nuclear technology
Yes.
and their proven track record of innovation, Rolls-Royce is in a prime position to capitalize on this potential.
Absolutely. They're venturing into uncharted territory.
Yeah.
But they're doing so with a combination of boldness and careful planning.
Right?
Which could lead to significant rewards.
It's a fascinating example of how they're pushing the boundaries of technology to address some of the world's most pressing challenges.
Absolutely. It really speaks to their vision of not just being a successful company, but a company that makes a real difference in the world.
So we've seen how Rolls-Royce is excelling financially,
Yes,
transforming operations,
wow,
and pursuing growth in both established and emerging markets.
Right.
But what does the future hold for this dynamic company? Where do they see themselves going from here?
That's a great question. They've actually laid out some ambitious midterm targets, aiming to achieve $4.2 to $4.5 billion in free cash flow by 2028.
So they're expecting to maintain this impressive financial momentum.
They are.
What's fueling this continued growth?
Well, they're projecting continued profit growth, though they're careful to point out that it might not be a straight line year on year.
Right.
They've also set specific margin targets for each of their divisions, aiming for a range of 14–16%.
Okay.
Much of this growth is expected to be driven by higher operating profits and continued growth in their long-term service agreements, LTSAs, particularly in civil aerospace.
LTSAs.
Yeah.
For those of us who might not be familiar with the intricacies of the aviation industry, can you elaborate on what those are?
Sure. LTSAs are essentially contracts where Rolls-Royce provides comprehensive maintenance and support services for their engines over an extended period, often decades.
Wow.
It's a way for airlines to manage costs and ensure engine reliability.
Makes sense.
And it provides Rolls-Royce with a steady stream of revenue.
Gotcha.
They're banking on continued growth in this area, especially as the aviation industry continues to recover.
So they're not just selling engines.
Right.
They're building long-term partnerships with their customers.
Exactly.
It's a smart strategy that creates a win-win situation.
It is. And it underscores their focus on not just short-term gains, but sustainable long-term success.
So it's clear that they're setting their sights high.
They are.
But what about their vision beyond these midterm targets?
Okay.
What does their long-term game plan look like?
Well, their long-term vision is even more ambitious.
Okay.
In civil aerospace, they're aiming to outpace market growth in both wide-body and business aviation, with their UltraFan engine poised to power the next generation of aircraft.
UltraFan. That sounds like something out of a science fiction movie.
It does, doesn't it?
What's so special about this engine?
Well, it's designed to be significantly more fuel efficient and quieter than current engines.
Wow.
In a world that's increasingly focused on sustainability.
Yeah.
Those are key advantages.
So they're betting on innovation to maintain their leadership in the aviation market?
Absolutely.
It makes sense. Airlines are under pressure to reduce their environmental impact.
Right.
And a more efficient engine is a major step in that direction.
It is.
What about their plans for the defense division?
Their defense division is anticipating growth from new platforms that will ramp up production from 2029 onwards. These include some very high-profile projects like the AUKey, a submarine program, the B-52 bomber upgrade, the Future Long-Range Assault Aircraft,
Wow.
the Global Combat Air Program, and the MQ-25 Stingray unmanned aerial vehicle.
Wow, that's an impressive lineup.
It is.
They're clearly well-positioned to secure contracts for some of the most advanced military projects in the world.
For sure. It seems like they're not just keeping up with the times, but staying ahead of the curve.
So we've covered civil, aerospace, and defense.
Yes.
What about power systems?
Power systems.
Any exciting developments on the horizon there?
Well, their power systems division is continuing its focus on power generation. Targeting growth in several areas, including those data centers we discussed earlier, as well as government, marine, and industrial markets. They're also planning to introduce a next-generation engine that offers higher power density, lower emissions, and improved fuel consumption.
It's remarkable how they're constantly innovating across all their divisions.
It is.
They're not content to rest on their laurels.
Nope.
They're always striving to improve and adapt.
It's a testament to their commitment to staying at the forefront of their industries.
Yeah.
They're not just reacting to changes. They're actively shaping the future.
And what about new markets?
New markets?
Any updates on the SMR front, or are they exploring any other groundbreaking technologies?
Well, while they're focusing on the deployment of larger SMRs, they're also exploring opportunities in a related field. Microreactors.
Microreactors.
These are even smaller and more portable than SMRs.
I can't even begin to imagine the potential applications for something like that.
It's pretty mind-blowing, right? It opens up possibilities for powering remote locations, providing disaster relief, and even supporting military operations.
Wow. It's amazing to see how they're constantly pushing the boundaries of what's possible with nuclear technology.
It is.
It's almost like they're writing a science fiction novel in real time.
It really is.
Yeah.
And it raises some really interesting questions about what the future holds.
Yeah.
Not just for Rolls-Royce, but for the world.
Right.
If they can successfully develop and deploy these advanced technologies, they have the potential to reshape entire industries and address some of humanity's most pressing challenges.
Well, this deep dive has certainly given us a lot to think about.
It has.
We've seen how Rolls-Royce is exceeding expectations, embracing innovation, and strategically positioning themselves for long-term success. But it's not just about their performance as a company.
Right.
It's about the technologies they're developing and the impact they could have on the world.
Absolutely. We'll need to explore that further in part 2 of our deep dive.
Exactly. So for now, we'll leave you with that thought.
Okay.
Join us next time as we delve deeper into Rolls-Royce's vision for the future.
Sounds good.
And the broader implications of their success for the global landscape.
I'm looking forward to it.
Welcome back to The Deep Dive. We just left off discussing Rolls-Royce's ambitious plans for the future.
Right.
Particularly their growth in emerging markets.
Yes.
Like microreactors and data centers. It's clear they're not just focused on financial success.
It seems that way.
They're aiming to be a driving force in shaping a more sustainable and technologically advanced world.
That's what's so intriguing about Rolls-Royce's approach.
Yeah.
They're operating in industries often seen as contributing to global challenges,
Right.
like carbon emissions. Yet they're actively developing solutions to address those very same challenges.
It's like they're walking a tightrope.
Yeah, I see that.
Balancing their legacy in industries like aviation and defense
Right.
with their aspirations for a cleaner, more sustainable future.
It's a tough balance.
How are they navigating this complex landscape?
Well, they've adopted a multifaceted strategy.
Okay.
In civil aerospace, for instance, they're investing heavily in developing more fuel-efficient engines.
Okay.
Like the UltraFan we discussed earlier.
Right.
This engine is designed to significantly reduce emissions.
Okay.
A critical step, considering the aviation industry's environmental impact.
That's a huge step in the right direction.
It is.
But they're not stopping there, are they?
Not at all. They're also exploring the use of sustainable aviation fuels, which have the potential to further reduce the carbon footprint of air travel.
So even more.
Even more.
Yeah.
They're essentially pursuing multiple avenues to decarbonize their operations.
So it's not just about developing one silver bullet solution.
Right.
It's about a portfolio of innovations and approaches.
Exactly.
And this commitment to sustainability extends beyond just civil aerospace, right?
Absolutely. In their power systems division, they're seeing a surge in demand for battery energy storage systems, which are essential for integrating renewable energy sources, like solar and wind power, into the grid.
So they're playing a key role in facilitating the broader energy transition.
They are.
Enabling the shift towards a more diversified and cleaner energy mix.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And let's not forget their work in the nuclear sector.
Right.
Particularly with those SMRs.
Yeah.
These small modular reactors have the potential to provide a significant source of low-carbon electricity, addressing the growing global need for clean and reliable energy.
It seems like Rolls-Royce is taking a proactive and comprehensive approach to sustainability.
I think so.
They're not just paying lip service to these trends.
Right.
They're backing it up with concrete actions and investments.
And that's a smart move.
Yeah.
Not just from an ethical standpoint, but also from a business perspective.
Right.
Investors and customers alike are increasingly looking for companies aligned with sustainability goals.
It's no longer just about maximizing profits.
It's not.
It's about creating value for all stakeholders.
Yes.
Including the planet and future generations.
Exactly. Rolls-Royce seems to understand this. They're not shying away from the challenges of sustainability. They're embracing them as opportunities for innovation and growth.
Now, aside from decarbonization, another major global trend is digitalization.
Digitalization,
How is Rolls-Royce incorporating digital technologies into its operations?
Well, digitalization is transforming every aspect of their business. From the design and manufacturing processes to how they approach maintenance and service.
Can you give us some specific examples of how they're applying these digital tools?
Sure. In civil aerospace, they're using advanced data analytics to optimize engine performance and predict maintenance needs. This allows them to minimize downtime and improve overall efficiency.
So they're using data to make their engines smarter and more reliable.
Precisely. And in defense, they're developing digital twins of their products.
Digital twins. Now that sounds futuristic.
It is. A digital twin is essentially a virtual representation of a physical product. In this case, a jet engine. Or a submarine propulsion system. This allows them to simulate performance and identify potential issues before they even arise in the real world.
So it's like having a virtual laboratory?
Yeah, you could say that.
Where they can test and refine their designs without the cost and risk of physical prototyping.
Exactly. This digital transformation is also extending to their customer interactions.
How so?
They're developing digital platforms that give customers real-time data on their products and make managing service needs more efficient.
So they're not just using digital technology to improve their internal operations. They're also using it to enhance the customer experience.
That's right. They recognize that digitalization is about providing greater value and convenience to their customers,
Okay.
making their interactions with Rolls-Royce more seamless and insightful.
It's really impressive how they're embracing these transformative trends.
It is.
And not just keeping up with the times,
Yeah.
but actively pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
It's a testament to their commitment to innovation
Mm-hmm.
and their willingness to adapt to the ever-changing demands of the global market.
Okay, so far we've seen how Rolls-Royce is exceeding financial expectations,
Okay.
hitting targets years ahead of schedule.
Yes.
We've also seen how they're strategically positioned to capitalize on global trends like decarbonization and digitalization,
Right.
making them a force for positive change.
It paints a compelling picture of a company in the midst of a remarkable transformation,
Yeah.
driven by a combination of smart business decisions
Okay.
and a forward-thinking vision.
But let's not forget that they're not operating in a vacuum.
True.
There are external factors that could impact their performance, both positively and negatively.
Yeah.
What are some of the key risks or challenges that they need to navigate?
You're right, no business is immune to challenges, and Rolls-Royce is no exception.
Right.
One of the most significant risks is the volatility of the global economy.
Okay.
Economic downturns could potentially impact demand for their products and services,
Right.
particularly in sectors like aviation and defense,
Yeah.
which are sensitive to economic fluctuations.
It's true. We live in a world where economic uncertainty is the new normal.
We do.
How can Rolls-Royce mitigate this risk?
Diversification is key.
Okay.
They're already operating in multiple sectors,
Right.
which helps spread the risk.
I see.
But they also need to be adaptable,
Okay.
able to adjust their strategies quickly in response to changing economic conditions.
Beyond the economy,
Yeah.
what other external factors could pose challenges?
Geopolitical instability is another major concern.
Right.
Conflicts, trade wars, and sanctions
Yeah.
can disrupt supply chains, impact customer relationships,
Uh-huh.
and create uncertainty in key markets.
These are factors that are largely outside their control,
They are.
but they need to be aware of the risks and have contingency plans in place.
Absolutely. They need to monitor the geopolitical landscape closely,
Okay.
diversify their supply chains,
Uh-huh.
and build strong relationships with governments and partners around the world.
Okay, so we've got economic volatility
Yes.
and geopolitical instability.
Huh.
What about the internal challenges? They have a complex global supply chain, right?
You're right. Managing a vast network of suppliers across multiple continents is no easy feat.
Right.
And any disruptions in that supply chain could have a ripple effect
Yeah.
throughout their operations.
We saw how fragile global supply chains can be during the recent pandemic.
We did.
What lessons did Rolls-Royce learn from that experience?
Well, they learned the importance of building resilience and flexibility into their supply chain operations.
Okay.
This means diversifying their supplier base,
Right.
building strong relationships with key suppliers,
Okay.
and having contingency plans in place to address potential disruptions.
So it's about having multiple layers of protection.
Yes,
Being able to adapt quickly when unexpected events occur.
exactly. And let's not forget about competition.
Right, of course.
Rolls-Royce operates in highly competitive industries.
Wow.
With some formidable rivals constantly pushing the boundaries of technology
Yeah.
and vying for market share.
How do they stay ahead of the curve in such a competitive environment?
Constant innovation is key.
Okay.
They need to invest heavily in research and development,
Mm-hmm.
develop new and innovative products and services,
Right.
and build strong relationships with their customers
Okay.
to differentiate themselves from the competition.
And they need to do all this while maintaining a focus on cost efficiency and profitability.
They do. It's a delicate balancing act.
All this talk about financial performance, global trends, and competitive landscapes is fascinating.
It is.
But let's bring it back to our listeners.
Okay.
Why should they care about the success of a company like Rolls-Royce?
Good question.
How does it impact their lives?
That's a great question.
Mm.
Rolls-Royce's success isn't just about the performance of a single company.
Okay.
It's about the future of industries that are vital to our lives.
Right.
Their work in aviation, defense, power systems, and new markets
Uh-huh.
has a significant impact on global trade, transportation, security, and energy.
Wow.
Their innovations and advancements benefit society as a whole.
So it's not just about profits, it's about progress.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Their work in developing more fuel-efficient engines
Uh-huh.
contributes to reducing carbon emissions and combating climate change.
Okay.
Their contributions to defense technology help protect national security.
Right.
Their power systems provide reliable electricity to homes and businesses around the world.
Okay.
And their work in new markets like SMRs has the potential to revolutionize the energy sector.
It's incredible how their work connects to such a wide range of societal needs.
It truly is.
Yeah.
And it highlights the importance of supporting companies that are driving innovation and progress in these critical industries.
So what can we as individuals do to support companies like Rolls-Royce? Is it just about buying their products or investing in their stock?
It goes beyond that.
Yeah.
We can support policies that encourage innovation and investment in these industries.
Okay.
We can choose to do business with companies that are committed to sustainability and ethical practices. And perhaps most importantly, we can stay informed about the challenges and opportunities facing these industries so that we can make informed decisions as consumers and citizens.
It's a call to action.
It is.
To be more conscious of the impact our choices have and to support companies that align with our values.
Exactly. We all have a role to play in shaping the future.
Yeah.
And supporting companies like Rolls-Royce is one way to contribute to a more sustainable, prosperous, and secure world.
Well said. Now I'm eager to hear more about Rolls-Royce's long-term vision.
Okay.
How do they see their role in shaping the future beyond just the products and services they offer?
That's a great segue into the final part of our deep dive.
Okay.
We'll explore their aspirations, their challenges, and the broader implications of their success for the global landscape.
Okay, sounds good.
But first, let's take a quick break to gather our thoughts.
We're back for the final part of our deep dive into the world of Rolls-Royce.
Back again.
We've covered a lot of ground from their impressive financial performance to their innovative strategies for navigating global trends. Now I want to shift our focus to their long-term vision.
Okay.
What's driving their ambitions beyond simply being a profitable company?
Well, what I find fascinating is that their vision extends beyond the bottom line.
Okay.
They're aiming to play a significant role in tackling some of the world's most pressing challenges.
Right. Like what specifically?
Like climate change and the growing demand for clean energy.
So they're not just developing products and services.
Well,
they're trying to make a real difference in the world.
Exactly.
Can you elaborate on that?
Sure. Take their work in the nuclear sector, for example.
Okay.
They believe that SMRs have the potential to revolutionize the energy landscape.
Yeah.
Providing a safe, reliable, and scalable source of low-carbon electricity.
It's not just a business opportunity for them.
No.
It's a way to contribute to a more sustainable future.
Precisely.
It's clear that they're not just talking about these ambitions.
Right.
They're taking concrete actions to make them a reality.
They are. They've secured investments, navigated complex regulatory landscapes,
right,
and forged partnerships to bring this vision to life.
So they're really going for it.
They are.
Yeah.
They're not waiting for the future to happen.
Yeah.
They're actively shaping it.
And this proactive approach is evident in their other initiatives as well.
It is.
Like the development of the UltraFan engine in civil aerospace.
Yes. That engine, with its significantly improved fuel efficiency and reduced noise levels, represents a major step towards more sustainable aviation.
It seems like they have a knack for anticipating future needs.
They do.
And developing innovative solutions to meet those needs.
It's impressive. They're constantly pushing the boundaries of technology, adapting to the ever-changing demands of the global market.
This forward-thinking approach is essential in a world that's evolving at an unprecedented pace.
Absolutely.
They've got a clear vision, they're taking action, and they're constantly innovating. But surely there must be challenges along the way.
Of course there are.
What are some of the biggest hurdles they face in realizing their ambitions?
Well, one of the biggest challenges is navigating the complex and constantly evolving regulatory landscape. Their work in areas like nuclear energy and aviation is subject to stringent regulations.
Right.
And those regulations can vary significantly from country to country.
That makes sense.
So they need to be agile and responsive, able to adapt their strategies and technologies to meet the specific requirements of different markets.
So it's a lot of juggling.
It is.
Yeah.
They also need to manage the inherent risks
Okay.
associated with developing and deploying new technologies.
Right, because it's not always a guarantee.
Exactly. There's always the possibility that a new technology might not perform as expected, or that it might be too expensive to scale up commercially.
It's a balancing act. It is. They need to be bold in their innovation,
right,
but also prudent in their investments.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And then there's the challenge of attracting and retaining top talent.
Yeah, of course.
In a highly competitive global market, they need to build a workforce that's equipped to handle the complexities of their business and drive future innovation.
So people are key.
People are key. It sounds like they need to be firing on all cylinders to achieve their goals.
It does. But based on their recent performance and their clear strategic direction, I'd say they're well positioned to meet these challenges.
I agree.
They've demonstrated an impressive ability to adapt, innovate, and execute on their plans.
For sure.
It's inspiring to see a company that's not only striving for financial success,
Yeah.
but also using its resources and expertise to make a positive impact on the world.
I agree with that. It gives you hope for the future.
It does. I agree.
It's a reminder that businesses can be a force for good.
Yeah.
Driving progress and addressing global challenges.
Right.
Through innovation and ingenuity.
Well, this deep dive has certainly been an eye-opener for me.
Me too.
Rolls-Royce is a company that's not only financially successful, but also deeply committed to shaping a better future.
Yeah, I think we can both say that.
It's been fascinating to explore their world.
It has. It's been a pleasure sharing this journey with you.
Likewise.
And I'm confident that Rolls-Royce will continue to surprise and impress us with their commitment to innovation and their ambition to make a real difference in the world.
So that wraps up our deep dive into Rolls-Royce Holdings Plc.
That's a wrap.
We've uncovered a wealth of information
about
their impressive performance, their ambitious plans, and their vision for a more sustainable and technologically advanced future.
Absolutely. We've explored their strategic initiatives.
We have.
The challenges they face.
Right.
And the broader implications of their success for society and the planet.
We encourage you to continue exploring these topics on your own.
There's so much more out there.
There's so much more to discover about Rolls-Royce and the industries they operate in.
Stay curious, stay informed, and stay engaged.
Yes.
Because the future's being shaped right now.
It is.
And companies like Rolls-Royce are playing a leading role in that transformation.
Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.
It's been a pleasure.
We'll see you next time for another insightful exploration of a topic that matters.